Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Samantha the Kansas City Stitcher here for Kid Parade. And I have a lot of kids. I didn't realize just how much patterns I had that I put, kitted them up. Some of these, I don't know that I have fabric with them. I'm just gonna say that now. And all that moving around you hear is my dogs in the kennels because my husband's outside working on, well, more shelves. So, and I realized why this shelf looks crooked. I realized it yesterday. This bottom shelf is shorter than all the others. So this side curves in and this side does not. It's fine. This was the prototype anyway, so it's fine. I have a lot of kits. 16 of these kits are part of my 30 for 30. I'm gonna try to remember which ones that I had planned, and I'm gonna try to say them. Some of these I have planned for things outside of my 30 for 30. Some of these were definitely enabled. And some of these I kitted up today because I realized that I had these patterns and they're smaller, and not that I don't love my big ass projects, because I do. It's nice to have some that are tiny. I've been finishing a lot of smalls lately and I've been kind of liking it. So I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and just start. A lot of these are in Amazon bags. If they're not in the Amazon bag, I'll try to remember what bag they're in and I'll say it. But Amazon bag. First up is a holo from Liz Matthews, Bittersweet Village. I actually kitted this up with DMC not called for. I am doing like a pink purple conversion, and I'm gonna use the green. And my lighting in here is absolutely garbage, so I don't know. And I kitted this up with a 14 count Aida, just a plain white Aida that I got at a garage sale, I'm pretty sure, because I definitely don't put tape around the edges of my fabrics. And this is 104 by 96, 5,000 stitches. That's not that bad. It says it'll be 7 3/8 by 6 3/4 stitched. Most of these colors are already bobbinated, so I'm gonna try my best. Because I bought a bunch of DMC that was bobbinated at the thrift store a while back. But there's those. Oops, just dropped a green. I'll pick that up. But if you see a project that you're like, oh, I love that and I want to stitch that with you, just let a girl know. Because I am down for a sow. Always. I'm always down for a sow. Start along, not stitch along. This is my Dimension Gold Petite that I bought. Well, my husband bought it for me, but that I bought it, well, the flea market. It's kitted up already, so. Next, Forbidden Fiber Co.'s Squid Games box that they did. This is the project bag. I've already done the project, finished it. This has my Hildy's in it. I already finished Hildy's Brew, but for some reason I still have the pattern in here. It's fine. And I believe that this was a Jody fabric. Well, there's Hildy's Brew. I think, if I, did the calculations right, I'm mad at myself anyway for starting this in the middle, but I think that I should be able to fit 3 more Hildy's on this. I might do Hildy's Hayride next. I don't know. But I have this kitted up still. with the greens that I used for Hildy's hair and face, because I want my Hildy's to still match. That's the plan anyway. Oh, that Bittersweet Village from Hello from Liz Matthews, I'm gonna start that in July for Stephanie at Cross Stitch the Globe's birthday. I think it's Hello 40 Sal or something like that. Something like that. Next is Witchy Stitcher. Leave Me Alone, I'm cross stitching. This was her Patreon for last month. And I'm gonna stitch this on 14 count, Picture This Plus. I don't know the name of this fabric. I was doing Mort's D'Amour on it, but we all know that I stopped that. I'm gonna pause this because my dogs have a plastic bag in their kennel, and these dogs don't get into anything. Next is Owl Forest Embroideries Wizard of Oz Sal that they did. I don't know what year this was. It's a free chart. You could still get it on their website. I just printed it off in black and white. And I bought all of their floss. I'm not going to pull it all out, but I bought it all because Wizard of Oz is my favorite movie. And I put 20 count Be Stitch Me Rainy Day fabric in here. I don't know when I'm going to stitch this, but I have it when I'm ready. Next is Bendy Stitchy 1844 Lady Maid. I won this on Michelle's YouTube off of one of her floss tubes. It's been a while. And I actually got the beads that go on it when I won. And I just kitted this up with a bunch of different random floss that I just kind of threw it in here. And I'm gonna stitch this on 28 count Fangirl Fibers. I think this was a Gilmore Girls fabric whenever I was in the Gilmore Girls fabric of the month. It's called The Amazing Doggo Swami. I think. I don't know. It's like 6 something at night here, so... Well, my house is really dark anyway, so just... We kind of have to survive here. I'm just throwing all of these on the ground. I'm going to regret that later whenever I have to pick them all up. That's okay though. This is going to be a restart. And I don't have fabric picked out, but I do have Little Red Riding Hood, the Frosted Pumpkins. I did not like the 14 count Ada that this... I got the kit and I didn't like... I was not feeling the kit Ada. But I have all the DMC and the Classic Colorworks, which is the same color, just... I want it to be smaller than it was. Which makes me think maybe I need a 20 count Ada, because I'm really digging the 22 count Adas right now. When I first started cross stitching again in 2020, I found Fiddlesticks AU on Etsy. I haven't bought from them since, but I'm obsessed with Alice in Wonderland. We're all mad here. I do not know what this fabric is, but it's a 32 count. A lot of these fabrics, I feel like, well, not a lot of them because I have a lot of Be Stitch Me in here, but I feel like came from thrift stores or garage sales, because sometimes you can't find a good deal. I don't have any floss in there, but it's just going to be the DMC that's called for. Next is the first thing I'm starting for one of my 30 for 30s. I don't know which month, but I have all of these wrote down on what month I'm starting them. But this one is Charlie. We are obsessed with Willy Wonka in this house. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna put it in a frame and I'm gonna hang this in my bedroom. I'm gonna stitch this on 32 count. Yeah, 32 count Luna Moth by Bee Stitch Me. Oh, that's better. I'm using my ring light, and I'm using another ring light beside me because the light that I have, like, no light in here. It's just really dark. Next is, this is also a 30 for 30 start. I'm going to start this in December, I believe. And it's the Winter Fairy. I've had this plan to start for a long time, and I just haven't done it. I don't know why, because it's not very big. It's 83 by 83. This will take me, like, maybe a few days to stitch if I just did it. I'm going to stitch this on 14 count. This is, I believe, a DMC Ada. The blue and pink one. I'm pretty sure I got this at, like, Michael's or Joann's, I don't know. And I just grabbed 2 fancy flosses that I had in stash. Classic Colorworks Blue Corn and the Gentle Arch Chalk. Next is, I don't think I have this on my 30 for 30, but I do kind of want to stitch it. So I'm thinking about changing this. It's Kathy Barrick's Bluebird and a Cherry Tree. I love this. I love this so much. And I have some of the DMC in here. Nope, I grabbed, just kidding, I grabbed a bunch of fancy floss that I had in stash. And I'm gonna stitch this on Mystic Fabrics 18 count something blue. I love this fabric. I love Mystic Fabrics. I kind of want to get back into their fabric of the month. But I just restarted Bee Stitch Me's. And I'm telling you right now, I do not need 2 fabrics of the month because then I have way more kits than I do now. And believe me, I have a lot. We're 12 minutes in and I barely have touched my kits. Next is Autumn Lane Stitchery Beauty and the Beast. I love this. This is so good. And I'm gonna stitch this on, I had just grabbed the DMC that's called for. I'm gonna stitch this on a 28 count hand dye by Rwanda. Because it's a sea creature and a mermaid. And you have to stitch it in the ocean, right? And the ocean is blue? Just, I don't know. This is one of my 30 for 30s. This is Heartstring Samplery Until We Meet Again. My wish, may your dreams come true from now until we meet again. I'm gonna stitch this for my Uncle Steve. And I'm gonna stitch this on 18 count Mystic Fabrics. Winchester? I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to say that actually. Next is In This House Villains. If you knew me in person and not just, you know, on Flosstube, you would know that I'm absolutely obsessed with Disney villains. I want an entire leg tattoo of the Disney villains down my leg. I have always wanted that. I'm just gonna stitch this on a 22 count, like, off-white Ada. I'm pretty sure this is 22 count. And I'm just going to stitch it with the DMC. Next is going to be a restart. I do not have fabric picked out for it yet, but it's just the Garden of Dreams. Barbara Anna's Garden of Dreams. I don't have a cover photo. And I still have all the DMC kitted up in here. Oops. I just showed the pattern. It's okay though. I don't think it was enough for anybody to steal it. Next is something I don't have fabric in here for, and it's another Barbara Anna Infinite Christmas. I don't stitch a lot of Christmas, but I love a Barbara Anna Christmas. I stitched the Mrs. Claus, Dreaming Mrs. Claus. Is that the name of it? No, whenever it came out, I did it with the stitch long. If you can hear that, it's my husband outside. Next is, I believe that this is on my 30 for 30, but I could be wrong. It's just one more chapter, and otherwise I tell myself. I am doing this on a 28 count. It's the fabric that I was using for Moonlight Sampler that I'm going to restart, and is part of my 30 for 30. You'll see it, but it's I think this is a fabric flare. Whoops, did not mean to kick the camera. But it's, actually I still have the stitching, a little bit of the stitching on here. Well, the only stitching I did on it. And I have all the DMC for this in the bag ready to go. Next is another thing I don't have fabric for. I'll get a Be Stitch Me soon that'll call to me for hummingbird. I love this. I love hummingbirds. I want to get a hummingbird feeder, and I have not. Owl Forest Embroidery. Owl Forest Embroidery makes very, very beautiful charts. And I don't know why I'm not stitching more of them. It's cold in this living room, but if I turn off the air, then it's hot in here, so. Another Barbara Anna. I love this one. Sailing Dreams. I want a Barbara Anna wall so badly of the Dreaming Girls, but I don't know that I ever will. This is going to be on a 32 count Forbidden Fiber Co. And I do not know the name of this fabric because I lost the tag. But it's very gorgeous. Next is Luminous Fiber Arts All Hallows Eve. I got this in a box. I don't remember what box. I do not. And I believe that this was also in that box. And I think it's a 32 count linen. I don't know the name of it. I don't know anything. But I'm pretty sure it came in that box. And I have a bunch of different fancy floss that are similar to the called for. I just have it all kitted up. I know that this is a hand by Rolanda because I used some of it for something else and there was plenty of it left. I didn't write down what any of these colors go to though. So hopefully I remember what they were supposed to go to whenever I start this. That was very helpful of me, wasn't it? Next is another 30 for 30 project that I'm going to start. Jack's Urn by Kathy Barrick. I love Kathy Barrick's patterns. I'm going to stitch this on 20 count ledger by Be Stitch Me. Don't know why I was going to say Pictureless Plus. And this one I'm just doing with a bunch of different hand-dyed flosses that I pulled from Stash. And I actually did write down where I was putting these colors. Wouldn't you know? And it looks like nope, I changed them all. I believe I'm either starting that in August or September. I can't remember. Well, maybe I can get this pattern to go back in this bag. There. This one I think I might also have on my 30 for 30, which is Training Academy, also by Kathy Barrick. I love this. I'm doing this on a 28 count Picture This Plus icon. And I am using the DMC. I don't have all the DMC in here, but I'm going to use the DMC. Even if that means I have to make a special trip to Michael's. Next is Frank and Elvira Gobblestone. Gobblestein. I don't know why I said Gobblestone. I want to stitch all of these because I love them all. And I'm going to stitch this on, I'm pretty sure that this was a Jody fabric. I'm positive it was. And I just grabbed similar colors that are called for from Stash. And I didn't write them down. One of these days. Next will be a restart. I barely even started this, so I don't even know that it counts as that. But I don't have fabric for it, and it's Red Queen. It doesn't actually say the name. I'm pretty sure it's Red Queen, though. And I bought all of the Outforest threads. I bought the threads for this, the pattern, and the threads for the Wizard of Oz all at the same time, like 2 years ago. Actually, it might have been longer than that. I think it was like 2020. Next is the Blue Flower, the Color of Winter. I'm not sure why I really like this one, but I really like this one. And I like the little, I want to say reindeer. I don't know if those are reindeer or not. But. And I'm going to stitch this on 32 count I Lilac You a Lot by Forbidden Fiber Co. No, not Forbidden Fiber Co. Fiberlicious. This is a fantastic purple. And I'm just going to use the call for DMC. I don't have them in there, but well, maybe. Up next, I've had this for a while too. Barbara Anna's Oh Christmas Tree. This is fantastic. I love a tree. I don't know if part of the reason I really like this so much is because there's literally 6 colors in it. Oh, nope, there's 7. There's a metallic that I am definitely not going to use metallic on because I do not like DMC metallic. That is terrible. And I'm going to use the fabric that I started originally, Holiday Quaker, on. I don't know the name of this fabric, but I'm gonna rip all these out when I decide to start this. I don't know. By the time I decide to start this, I might decide I don't want to use this fabric. I don't want to rip that out. But as of this moment, I'm going to rip those out. There's not that much stitching in it that it shouldn't really be that difficult to rip out. Up next is Noctiflora. I love this pattern. Whoops, I just dropped it. This is fantastic. And I'm just gonna stitch this on a 32 count gray fabric that I had in stash. And I'm just gonna stitch this with the called for DMC. I just went and ate right before this video, and now I kind of have heartburn from it, so I'm really sorry if I burped and I didn't even realize I did it. This one is a start for my 30 for 30. This is the day. I think I decided that I'm not going to stitch any of this quote. I'm only going to stitch the house and the big giant flower and all of that. And I'm going to stitch it on this 28 count. It's like an oatmeal. I don't know where this came from. It is a really big piece of fabric, and it is not going to take off all this because I'm taking the quote off. With the quote on there, it's 202 by 170. I do not want to stitch that much, but I really like the pink house, so I don't know why I'm really not a pink person, but I really like that pattern. Next I have, it's like one of those little zip up. I have two patterns in here. The first one is a ghostly mandala by Ink Circles. I'm going to stitch that with Night Stalker Calling, Fragile Ego on, I believe, I was going to use this 14 count Red Ada. And I put this in here too, Pumpkin Pixie. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put that in at, but I think I might do a couple little ghosts in it, in that color. I'm not sure yet though, because I might not do that. I might decide I don't want to do that. And then I have Henna Mandala also in here by Ink Circles. And I just have a hand dyed by Rolanda Silk in here. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. It's my husband outside working. If not, I'll just sound like a weirdo and say that. It's fine. Next is Blackbird Designs. This is really wrinkled in the top. Pink Hill Manor. Anniversaries of the Heart, number 4. Again, it was the pink house. Again, I'm not a pink person, but the pink house got me. I believe that this was a Jody fabric that I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna put this bright pink house on this very moody green fabric. That's fine. It's all fine. I'm just gonna use the call for DMC. Next is in this very, very wonderful bag. And it is my Bonkers Sal. It's the Barbara Anna did like a Mad Hatter. I put him in here. And I put this Throwing Stones by Fangirl Fibers that I'm going to use. I'm going to put the Mad Hatter on. I don't know where I was going with that, but Oh, I just dropped some stuff. It wasn't a pattern. It wasn't anything that I was going to show though, so it's fine. Next is cross stitch curiosity. Literacy. Something. I don't know. I got this on Etsy. I got it this year, I believe. It says, maybe if you spent less time at the gym and more time reading books, you'd have something interesting to say. And that is exactly how I feel about everything in life. If you read more books, you might have something interesting to say. Actually, it's not how I feel about most things, but, well, I mean, kind of. And I'm just going to put this on a 22 count white Aida because it's full coverage. And I'm just using the called for DMC that I actually have in here. I don't know when I'm going to start that, but one pile down. This is my June 30 for 30 last start because I've already started my other thing. And it's the Pomegranate Quaker by Al Forest. I am going to stitch it on this bright yellow Jody fabric, 14 count. That is really bright. It is not that bright. I mean, it is that bright, but it's not quite that bright. And I grabbed 4 sulkies that I'm going to just put in places. That looks fantastic. I am not going to throw this on the ground because I actually am going to start that this month. This is a 30 for 30 project. I'm going to use the called for DMC. And it's Artist Designs Shipjack Sampler. This was a market release this year. I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it, and I knew that I had to buy it. I knew that I was going to have to stitch that. And I left spaces open in my 30 for 30 just for market. And I'm going to put it on 20 count Be Stitch Me, 20 count Aida Be Stitch Me's Gorgeous Grape. It's the other half of this is on, being used on Meg the Moth Woman. But it's not going to take up the whole thing, so I just cut the thing in half. Next is something else I'm going to start in July because it's another Hello from Liz Matthews. Gather Here. Bring Here with Grateful Hearts. This is big. It's 283 by 122. It's big. I'm going to stitch this with Be Stitch Me 28 count Cardinal. I love this. And I'm going to use Hand Dyed by Rolanda's Hank that I bought because that's going to look fantastic. So that will also be part of my, part of my 30 for 30 starts and part of Stephanie at Cross Stitch the Globe's birthday sale. So I'll be starting that in July. Next is also one of my July plans for 30 for 30. It's the Blue Flowers Moonlight Sampler. I love this. The main reason I bought it though was for Stitchy Sarah Reed's birthday a couple years ago. And I was like, yeah, I want to stitch that. I'm not sure what happened, but it's okay. I am going to stitch this on 40 count Be Stitch Me Princess. And this is gorgeous. This is my first time stitching on 40 count. But I've kind of stitched on 40 count. I stitch on 20 count Aida. And I'm using the called for colors that I already had because I am restarting this. Next is Modern Folk Embroidery, the Fruits of Plenty Salve. I didn't start whenever it came out. I bought it when it came out, but I did not start it. Ow, I just hit myself. And I'm going to stitch this on 32 count Boneyard by Stitch Me. Ugh, this is fantastic. I've been holding on to this for a while because I was like, it's too good. It's too pretty to stitch anything on. Don't do that. Do not do that. If you are stitching it, it is pretty and it deserves a pretty fabric. And I'm going to use Moselle Silks. Pumpkin and Carnation. And I actually bought 2 of each because I wanted to make sure that I had enough of it. Because Moselle is hard to get a hold of, so if you don't buy enough of it the first time, you may or may not have enough. It's 360 yards. Surely that's enough, though, but I don't know. Next is Witchy Stitcher, and I love a Witchy Stitcher. How to Survive a Horror Movie. I don't have any of the floss in here, but I do have the 14 count Black Ada that I'm going to stitch this on. It'll just be the DMC that's called for. I don't know, honestly, it might be Cosmo. I have quite a few Cosmos. I have a big, huge, giant mess down here to clean up after this is done. Next is another Witchy Stitcher, and it's Sweet Dreams. I'm gonna start this soon. Honestly, this isn't that big. It's not that big. Famous last words, right? 128 by 88 though. That's not that big. And I'm gonna stitch this on a fabric I dyed myself. And cat. I put my Freddie needle minder on it that I just got in the mail. How cute is that? I hand dyed this fabric myself though, a few years ago. Freddie deserves green fabric, right? Freddie's my favorite. And the only thing I have in here right now is 310. Next is 1809 Quaker Sampler. The Good Housewife. The Good Housewife? Yeah, Housewife. This is big. 215 by 150. And I put my Gray Magic 22 count Stitch Me in here that I just got. Next is Follow the Yellow Brick Road. There's a lot of DMC in this. I did not realize just how much DMC was in this, but it's a lot. And I'm going to use one of the fabrics that came in that was either this or you could use a darker fabric. And it's Sahara Vintage. I'm going to start this in the middle because I want to make sure that I have enough room on the outside to do something with it. Whew. Next this is a free pattern. It's a 4th wing pattern. A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without its dragon is dead. And I'm going to stitch this on a 28 count that I also hand dyed. And I'm gonna stitch it with Petunia Stitchy Box Silk. I kinda wanna get back into the Stitchy Box Silk Club. Their silks are amazing. Next is the Carolyn Manning piece that I'm going to start for May next year. So I'll probably not start it until May 1st of next year. The zipper's caught. There we go. And it's birthday cake. And I'm just going to stitch it on a 22 count white Aida because it's full coverage. You're not going to see it anyway. And I will just use the called for DMCs. Next is Country Cottage Needlework. Love lives here. Another pink house. Wouldn't you know? And I'm just going to use the Digi Stitcher Love Notes fabric. 20 count. That I think I'll just need half of this, to be honest. I don't think this is that big. 133 by 86. I mean, it's not that big, but it's not that small either. Up next is Ship Band. This is a Quiltify Design pattern. I do not have a cover photo of it. If I remember, I'll try to insert a photo. I'm not going to promise any editing in this video, so. But I'm going to stitch this on 32 count, Fiberlicious, Summer Soiree. This is a fantastic fabric. And I'm going to stitch it with Mosai's Robin's Eggs. Because, yes, tell me that's not going to be perfect. Mosai's silks are, like, honestly, like, the most amazing silks. I have a problem at this point with Mosail. I'm proud of myself. I haven't ordered anything in a while from her. Next is a 30 for 30 plan. Olivia, The Forest Witch by Bella Filipina. I think I'm going to start this in September, maybe October, I'm not sure. And I bought 32 count Be Stitch Me Middle Earth. It is not the called for fabric, but it is really close, I feel like. I think the called for is actually a Fiberlicious, but. And I'm just going to use everything called for this. Besides Middle Earth. Next up is Sabrina and Harry Gobblespell by RETM. I love this. And this is Fangirl Fibers Spring Court. Luna, please. She was being so good that whole time. I wish you guys could see my puppies right now. They're asleep and they're laying on their backs with their paws up and they're like... Anyway, Mojo Stitches. Take Wing. I bought this because of Michelle. Bendy Stitchy. I think she's working on this one. And I just put... I don't know the name of this fabric. Oh, it was my fabric that I had the token on that I restarted. This should be big enough though. It's a 28 count. I know that it's a decent size pattern. I have two things in this one because these are not that big. These are 68 by 89 and I think they're both the same size. Yep, they are. And it's Ingleside Imaginarium. They have 2 possum charts. This one is Millie Melon Eater. Yes, please. And Peter Pumpkin Eater. And I'm going to stitch these both on 20 count Be Stitch Me hot chocolate. And I'll just use the called for DMCs. It actually calls for some 4 gentle arts, but I am not going to go out and look for those unless I have them in stash. And I think that I might have pumpkin pie already, and that's called for, so I'll look and see. I don't have very many gentle arts. Up next is another Owl Forest, the Snow Queen. I love this one. I'm gonna stitch this for my daughter, I think. But she's 10 and she's really not that into Frozen anymore. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna stitch it anyway. And I'm gonna put it in on Fiberlicious 32 count Castle in the Sky. Because it's fantastic. Here, hang on. This fabric is so good. I'm gonna take it out. Yes. Frizzy Lizzy Stitch It. Frizzy Lizzy is, I'm pretty sure, stitching the Deadly Aquarium Sal on this fabric. And it looks fantastic. But I think that I'm only going to need half of this. And if I do, I'm just going to stitch it on the half that's more blue. Luna. I'm so sorry. If you had headphones on just then, I'm really sorry. I don't know why she's whining. She just went to the bathroom before we did this video, so I know she doesn't need to go. Up next. This is going to be an hour-long video. I can already tell. Because we're at 48 minutes almost. This is a Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. The Love Bandit. I love my husband. You guys know that. And I'm going to stitch this for us. And he absolutely loves raccoons. He wants to own a raccoon so bad, and I've said no. This is on a 32 count. I just bought this at a garage sale, so I don't know the name of it, but it'll look really good on there, I think. Frosted Pumpkin has another one. I don't remember what it says, but I might get it after I'm done with that one, because I think that I'm only going to need half of that fabric, so I might be able to use the other half on the other pattern. This is another Frosted Pumpkin. I don't know why I bought the hard copy, but I did. Cherry Blossom Festivals sampler. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My husband loves Japan. And I'm going to stitch this on a 14 count Ada. It's a Jody fabric. I know it is. Jody dyes the best fabrics, and I know that I don't think she's doing a fabric of the month anymore, but this is really fantastic. There is a pink and brownish looking, it's like cakes and stuff, Frosted Pumpkin. Like this, it's like the same thing as this, only not Japan. Not, yeah. That I think I want to stitch also. After I'm done with this one, because I've had this one in my stash for like 4 years. Oh, look, another Witchy Stitcher. I've had this one a long time too, like since 2020. The Witch is in. I'm not even sure if you can get this pattern anymore, to be honest. And I just pulled some floss from stash. I mean, obviously I pulled, you know, 310 and 38.65, but I'm gonna make her not a pale witch for some reason. but this is what I picked. And the green is going to be this green. It's called Circles Potion. Circles Potion. And I'm just going to stitch it on this Forbidden Fiber Co. gray 32 count linen that I have. I don't know the name of it. I don't have the tag for it. I don't know what happened to my tags for my Forbidden Fiber Co. stuff for some reason. And this pattern is, it's long, but it's not very wide. It's, hang on. It's 31 by 107. That shouldn't take me very long at all. Oh, this came out in 2020, and I'm pretty sure that I bought it in 2020. I don't know if the Witchy Stitcher still has it, though. I haven't seen it, but I haven't looked for it either, so I don't know. This is another Fiddlesticks AU pattern. I bought a bunch at the same time because I found them and I liked the patterns and I just went with it. And I'm going to show you guys the pattern like way far back because I don't have a cover photo of it. It's 1,000 Yellow Daisies. It's a Gilmore Girls reference. And I'm going to stitch it on the Digi Stitchery Unicorn Dreams. Yep, Unicorn Dreams. 20 count Ada. I think this is gonna look really good on this, actually. I'm just gonna use the Call For DMC because Gilmore Girls is the best and it deserves the best. AKA the Call For colors. Up next is another Fiddlesticks AU, and it's Practically Perfect because Mary Poppins is also fantastic. And I don't know if you remember the fabric that I used in February for my husband and I's Even Forever, but I'm going to use that yellow again. I think this came out of Fangirl Fibers. I think it was in the Pokemon box, but I could be wrong. It looks like their fabric though. And I swear this was supposed to be 28 count, and I just don't know that it is. I really don't. I don't know. I know I didn't really like stitching on it 1/1, so I'm going to try it 2/2 with this pattern and see if I like it better. If not, well, it's only 82 stitches by 50 stitches, so it's not even that big. This is my last one. This is my last one. But hang on, I need a drink. My throat was getting a little dry. This is another Fiddlesticks AU, and it's called, I don't know what it's called. It says Sleep, Nap, Snooze, Dream, Slumber. And I'm just going to stitch this on a 14 count Ada that I don't know the name of because I cut this off of something else. And I'm going to use Fiberlicious One Fine Day floss. This actually is supposed to be like several different colors, but I think it'll be alright in just one color. And it's only 68 by 89 stitches. That's tiny. That's it. If you saw something you enjoyed, please let me know. If you saw the pattern you want to stitch with me, also please let me know. I think that's it. I'll be back hopefully on Monday. Oh, today's Tuesday, June 11th. Is that right? I think it's right. I'm pretty sure it's the 11th. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Have a good stitchy week. Hopefully I'll be back next week.